So I played Payday 3 this past week. I believe it was Tuesday or Monday, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to say these are my final thoughts. I see a lot of you guys are enjoying the Payday videos. And before anything, I do want to say I don't want to be a Payday YouTuber. It's not something I want to do. I want to play Fortnite, Minecraft, all sorts of other games, and just have fun. So if you guys want to see Payday videos and stuff like that, I'll keep posting some here and there because I do like the game. It's one of my favorite games. Once again, I really did enjoy playing the game with some random people, with some friends, and meeting some very interesting personalities on Payday 2 and Payday 3. So if you guys want to actually play one of these days with me, with some friends, leave your what's it called, your username, your gamer tag, your Steam down below. I'll add you, text you, and we can play Payday 2, Payday 3, or another game. Back to the main thing. These are my final thoughts for Payday 3, and I will say I was very harsh on the game, as much as as much as I say I wasn't, because I played the game on launch, on the beta, and I had a negative outlook because again, I came, trying to defend Overkill and one of my favorite games, but I couldn't because at the end of the day, the game was bad and I couldn't do anything about it. And I understand a lot of people here in my comments, and then one of my last videos was very split, saying that the game deserved to die, the game was good, and a lot of good discussions as well, and just enjoyment of the game. And some people say they hated the game. I understand completely. We all have different opinions, but again, I think that Payday 3 does deserve a try. If you do want to play Payday 3, I would say try. I wouldn't say buy the game though. Don't buy the game. I think you're better off playing the game off Game Pass where it's free. If you bought the game, that's awesome. Play it, enjoy your game. If you like the game, play it, enjoy it, grind it. So back to the main topic. The things I really loved about Payday 3 were the weapons. I still have kind of like my cons on those because I can't tell if they're doing good damage, if they're getting better. That's why I think we should go back to the system Payday 2 had, where it was numbers that told you the damage, accuracy, intimidation, and everything. I think that would be way better than the bars we have. Another thing that I do want to mention is the heist. These are the negatives. The heist, they don't have much variation. Like once you get a certain seed, like a certain variation of the heist, you're definitely not gonna get it differently. So you fail and you remember all the passwords and everything, you can actually just go in there and complete the heist because you remember all the codes and everything. Now another thing I do want to mention is the heist. There's 8 heist base plus the 2 ones that came out, 10. And if you buy the DLC, which I recommend you shouldn't, it's 12 heists. You have 12 heists in 8 months of the game being released in total. Payday 2 had 12 heists when it dropped. Now, I'm not trying to compare the game because they're both separate games made by separate developers at the time. Now, my biggest thing is that there's not enough content for me to enjoy the game. I think I had fun when I was meeting random people, having random interactions, talking trash. That's when I was having the most fun on Payday 3. But in terms of the game, I had fun for about 2 hours because again, it was very hard to have fun because after doing the same 8 heists, it got repetitive and tedious and just boring. Because there was no variation, there was no change. I wasn't having fun. One thing I do want to see a fix at least is that Operation Medic Bag brings back everything that we liked about Payday 2 into Payday 3. Fixes all the mistakes, the servers, the issues that are very glaring. One thing that I really do dislike is the lack of a safe house and a firing range, because I cannot test out my guns to see how they work, how they function, how much damage they'll do, stuff like that. And I think that it is necessary for a game like Payday to have somewhere where I can test how my guns are going to perform, what they're going to do and everything. Another thing that I think Payday 3 needs that isn't there is is more used for the C stacks. I thought the C stacks were gonna be like Continental coins, where you can use them to buy weapons if you didn't have the funds, upgrade stuff, you know, stuff like that. And in the end, it just kind of became kind of useless. You know, you can buy like certain weapons with the C stacks, but those weapons you can't modify or change anything, which I think is kind of useless. What else? One thing I do miss from this game is when you would complete a heist, you would get a payday where you would choose a card. It was either levels, money, attachments, stuff like that for Payday 2. Instead, Payday 3 kind of just throws that out the window. You just kind of like just go back to the lobby. Another thing is the lack of a party. Like when you complete like a heist in Payday 2, you would go back to the lobby, and from there you could choose another one with the same people, or they would leave, new ones would join, or you could leave and vice versa. I think the lack of that just kind of ruins the game for a lot of people. And one of the biggest gripes I do have with the game personally, and this is a big negative for me as well, like the biggest negative is how you take hostages, like, and I mean like cops. In Payday 2, you would yell at the cop, he would be intimidated, and you got him. In this one, I would yell at the cop and nothing would happen, but I would see my teammates get a cop on his knees and whatnot. So it's a very confusing thing where I don't understand a lot of these mechanics because it's not explained well. But maybe that one, I think that one is a personal one to me, and maybe I'll learn it the more I play. And now to the positives. There's a lot of positives with the negatives of this game. One of my favorite things about this game is the stealth mechanics. Like, the stealth is so clean and so crispy that it just makes you feel like, you know, an actual robber, like a veteran, a seasoned robber. If you have a group of people playing the game too, and when you communicate, the stealth becomes art. And I don't mean like how in Payday 2, you know, you're playing with your friend and you mess up the heist, so you gotta kill all the hostages. No, in this one, you take one of your friends can watch the hostages with having the mask on. The mask doesn't stop you. You can interact, you can lockpick, you can, you know, do a lot of stuff. The concealment system, I actually kind of like the concealment system more here, because, you know, it makes sense, you know, for a robber to be able to hide anything. Another thing I do think we do need to see it more in Payday 3. It's still a positive, don't get me wrong. I want to see more of more variation for groups of enemies. Right now the variation we have, I think, is good. The way that everything looks is great. This is kind of a side note. This can be a cosmetic change. The higher the difficulty, I think the different the units should look. But that's just me. I still think the game looks beautiful. The graphics are great. The function of everything is great. The gunplay is great. I like shooting guns in the game. They feel kind of nice. I love the hitboxes. I actually feel like I'm hitting everything I shoot. Another thing I do like is the throwables. I think the throwables are a very huge upgrade than they were in Payday 2, especially with the hitboxes of cops now. Another thing I do like is I do like how you say, how a lot of the gadgets work. It's nice to, you know, have like a very limited amount of gadgets, like ECMs, certain stuff like that are not like a not like a medic bag or stuff like that. They're just regular things that you can deploy. I think that's a really cool concept. I like the motion sensor a lot for Lao, where I can put it next to the stairs and watch if a bulldozer just come to, you know, eat my ass and, you know, call me, you know, Jimmy. And I think there's a lot of good in the game too for that. Another thing I do like is the enemies, especially the overhaul they did for the cloaker and the bulldozer. I can tell you all the times, every time a bulldozer charged at me, how scared I was. And when I heard the cloaker's charge up sound, I was terrified. My pants were shat. And I think, you know, I think that's a great thing to have when there's good variety and everything that they do change and everything. And, you know, I'm not very good at a lot of these videos, guys. I'm very like, I'm gonna do a script. I just kind of talk my mind freely, and I really like talking, as you can tell. But these are a lot of the positives and the negatives of the game. One of the biggest positives though I will give the game that I think it really does deserve is the environment. People say it's bland, but really it's a really nice environment. The civilians are talking, the guards are talking, the way the guards work, the way everything looks is beautiful, and the way it works is fantastic. The way you can open doors, close them, the way that everything looks, the way that the street looks, the way that cars are moving the whole time, and the way that cars stop when you go in front of them. Just those little details is magnificent. One of my favorite things about Payday 3 is those small details in the world, and just how beautiful the Payday 3 world looks. One of my biggest negatives as well is the leveling up system. I think it sucks. It reminds me of Halo Infinite, where you have to do a challenge to get like a little bit of XP. I hate the weapon leveling up system as well. I feel like I should just be able to get, unlock the mods and put them on my gun. One thing I also don't like is the skills. How do you level up? Like, you have to research them and whatnot. I don't get that. And another thing I really do not like is how I level up myself. Payday 2, every time you would level up, or every time you complete a heist, you would get XP, and that XP would go into your level. When you leveled up, you got a skill point or 2 points, depending how many, what's your level at, and there was a cap. And one thing I will miss is Infamy. I think going Infamous was this really big thing, and it still is, especially in Payday 2. When back then, everyone was like, oh, you're Infamous 25, oh, you're the best at the game, and now it's kind of easy to go Infamous in Payday 2. But it's still a big thing, because it's like, you went Infamous that many times, wow. And it makes you really feel like you're progressing. I want to see also more rewards for, completing heists or doing certain challenges, like, oh, get 600 kills with a shotgun, you get a new skin, or get this many things with that, you get this, or you complete this heist this many times, stuff like that. With a new reward, I think that would go great. Apart from that, those are my thoughts. I will say this, the game, all in all, is mediocre. That's how I'll describe the game. Mediocre, but like everything else, it has its moments, and I love those moments. And just to end things off, before anything, these are my thoughts, obviously. And again, I was inspired by you guys when you guys were talking in the comments, watching my videos, that I should, okay, let's talk about my final thoughts about the game. The person that made me play this game, his name is XTHIJSBOS6811. I think I wouldn't have played the game until I talked to him. He was telling me how the game is good and everything, and I still think I have my own opinions. I think that the game is not the best. It's not good, but it's not bad. It's just in the middle. But I kept my word. I told him I would play Payday 3, make a video, and I made the video. I might stream it this coming week with a friend. But apart from that, that's basically it. Those are my final thoughts. Once again, if you guys want to play with me, I'm down. I love playing with random people all the time. I was playing, with a random dude a few months ago, Payday 2, because he just joined. He watched my stream. He joined it. We added each other on Steam, and we played Payday 2 for like 3 hours. So again, I would love to play with you guys. If you guys watching this video, if you guys want to play, leave your gamer tag, your Xbox, or your Steam down in the comments. I'll add you. I'll message you. We can go play Payday 2 or Payday 3 or whatever. Again, I'm not very good at commentary, guys. I've always been a faceless creator with no voice, and now I'm getting comfortable with my voice and enjoying making these little funny, dumb videos. I think it's a good thing to kind of talk to you as well. And apart from that, I'm working on another video. It'll probably be a shitty Fortnite video like always, because we all love my low quality content. And apart from that, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, your favorite random dude at my mom's disappointment of a son. I'll see you in the next one.